Former Black Flag and Rollins band frontman Henry Rollins had the honor of introducing the reunion of legendary metal band Black Sabbath with original vocalist Ozzy Osbourne, and as one can expect, the 7+ minute speech highlighted not only why Sabbath connected with so many fans around the globe, but why they meant so much to Rollins as a young kid growing up. Held on 11/11/11, unofficially named Metal Day, at the famed Whiskey A Go-Go in L.A., which was the anniversary of Sabbath's now legendary performance at the same small club in Hollywood some 41 years to the date. The band held a press conference for a packed house of fans and press to announce their triumphant return. Artisan News was on hand when Henry Rollins talked about Black Sabbath being the founding fathers and inventors of what we know as heavy metal music.
Black Sabbath recorded 8 albums in the 70s. Black Sabbath, Paranoid, Master of Reality, Volume 4, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, Sabotage, Technical Ecstasy, and Never Say Die. And these are albums that have sold in excess of 70 million copies worldwide. And not only are they the band that arguably defined heavy metal, but they're coming from perhaps the most powerful kind of music in the world. They come from blues. They are a blues band who took the blues into what is now known as heavy metal. They're like founding fathers, ground floors, inventors of this.
Rollins also talked about discovering Black Sabbath as an alienated young boy and why high school became powerless over him after hearing Iron Man for the first time on the back of his school bus.
And I don't know how it was for you, but I was a very alienated young person. And when I heard Black Sabbath, I realized my life had a soundtrack. And I was very well acquainted with FM music, where the singers sounded really wonderful and the riffs were all about love and the guitars were very restrained. And in the back of my school bus, I was about 14 or 15 years old, someone had a cassette copy of the Paranoid album. And I heard that, and I heard Ozzy Osbourne's voice, and I heard these riffs that were room clearing. And I realized there were some people out there using music to make great statements. When I heard the song Iron Man, a song about a guy who gets so mad at the people he wanted to be friends with that he goes out and he basically levels them, high school became powerless over me after that.
Rollins also admitted that he was nearly brought to tears watching Sabbath's reunion shows at the NEC in Birmingham, England in '97, and why Sabbath's music will still be relevant 100 years from now.
One thing I would like to tell you, many years ago when the band reformed, they played 2 nights at the Birmingham NEC. This is in England. This is where they come from. Birmingham is a pretty rough town. And they sold out 2 nights at the Birmingham NEC. They probably could have sold out 10. And the band went out there in front of this audience that had come from all over the world to see Black Sabbath together on that stage. And I watched both nights from the soundboard, and it was such a moving experience. It nearly brought me to tears a couple of times to see such great music and these people so into it, singing every single word. And 41 years later, after the band stood on this stage and played some of their early material, we are still talking about Black Sabbath. The music is as relevant then as it is now. 100 years from now, when you and I are gone, Sharon Osbourne will still be around. I think the Grim Reaper will go like...
Black Sabbath are continuing to write songs for their upcoming new album, which will be released in 2012. The new album, which will be produced by Rick Rubin, will mark the first time the 4 original members of Black Sabbath have recorded together since 1978's Never Say Die. Sabbath will also be kicking off their 2012 world tour in support of the new release, with a very special headlining performance at the Download Festival in the UK on June 10th. Look for the band to announce the rest of the tour dates in early 2012.